Can anyone respond whether my slides are visible or not?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So slide show from the current slide. Fine. So let us solve the second problem. Let us read the problem first. What the problem is telling us. The problem is a joist of length 4 meter and weight 200 Newton is raised by pulling a rope as shown in the figure. Determine the tension T induced in the rope and reaction at end A of the joist. This AB is a joist. From end point B of the joist, a rope is attached. Tension exerted by the rope is T, and that rope is attached in such a way that it is making an angle of 25 degree with respect to this joist. The joist is supported at end A. Weight of the joist is W, acting vertically downward from its center of gravity, and the joist is placed at an angle of 45 degree with respect to this horizontal axis, or you can say the horizontal floor, and the distance AB is 4 meter, which is nothing but the length of the joist. What I need to find out? I need to find out the value of tension T and the reaction exerted at the end point A, that is RA. Is the question clear to you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Fine. So what is the first step? First step is
Free
how?
diagram.
Free body diagram. So in order to draw the free body diagram, first of all you have to identify the object. So identify the object on which you will insert different forces. So what is your object in this diagram?
So the joist.
Joist. So I am interested in looking that how many forces are acting on this joist and at which angle it is acting. Then by the use of different formulas, whether it is Lami's theorem or something else, we will find out the value of unknown T and the reaction RA. So let us draw the free body diagram first. This is the free body diagram of the joist. AB is my joist. AB is your joist. So weight of the joist is acting vertically downward from the center of gravity. That means distance, if the entire length of AB is 4 meter, then from this particular end to this particular end the distance is 2 meter, and from this particular end to this particular end distance is 2 meter. And I have told you earlier also, you have to draw the free body diagram in such a way that either all the forces should terminate or should originate or can terminate as well as originate from a common equilibrium point. So from point P, this is the tension T which is acting on the rope T, and from point A you have to give a reaction to this joist. So can you give reaction to this joist A in this manner? In this manner, that means RA, can RA act along the line of action of joist? Yes or no? Whether the direction of RA is like this or the direction of RA will be like this. This you have to decide. This is
Sir,
the
I
main
think here two reaction force will take place because we are two reference surfaces.
No, this is a hinge. See, this is a hinge. I have told you what is a hinge. About that point, your entire body can rotate. So reaction will be at one single point. It is a hinge. I might have to. I think I haven't told you, but in this problem, this point A is a hinge point. So there will be only one reaction. So now the question is whether the reaction that is exerted by this hinge point on this joint, on this joist, will be along the joist or will be at some angle. That means whether this RA is correct, direction of this RA is correct, or direction of this particular RA is correct. Tell me. Which direction you will take? Reaction RA acting along the joist or reaction RA acting at some angle from the joist in order to keep the entire body in equilibrium. That means all the forces should pass through a common point. If the force is not passing, at least the line of action of that force should pass through a common point. Now decide what will be the correct direction of RA. This is the first option, whether the first option is correct, that means this direction is correct along the joist, or the second option is correct. बोलो क्या होगा? यही बस इसमें है, इस प्रॉब्लम में ओनली एट
The
दिस
second one, I think.
यू विल गेट कंफ्यूज. कौन सा डायरेक्शन लूंगा, फर्स्ट वाला लूंगा या सेकंड वाला लूंगा?
So I think second one.
Second one is correct. First one is incorrect. Why? See, if you take the reaction, along the joist, if this is the direction of reaction RA, fine. RA and W are meeting at a common point, but this T, tension T, which is acting on the string, it is not meeting at a common point. That means the body will not be in equilibrium. I cannot solve the problem. So I will not take this particular reaction along the joist. Is it clear? So if I take this particular reaction at some angle from the horizontal, see, this is the line of action of RA, this is the line of action of tension T, and this is the line of action of weight of the joist W. That means the common equilibrium point is this particular point. Is it clear? That means now this particular free body diagram is correct. Any doubt? कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So let us proceed. So in order to find out the values of these unknown T and RA, we have to use some geometry to find out the included angles. So for that, what I am doing is, from point B, I am making some, or I am constructing some geometry in the original FBD. What I am doing is, from point B I am dropping a perpendicular, and from point A I am drawing a horizontal line. Both the lines will meet at point F, and again from point C I am drawing a horizontal line CD, which is intersecting on vertical line FB. And again from point C I am drawing a vertical line, and that line is nothing but the line of action of the weight acting on the joist. Now if you consider triangle ABF, that is this triangle ABF, this particular triangle, cos 45. Cos 45 is how much? Base by hypotenuse. So base is your AF, by hypotenuse is your AB. AB already given in the problem, that is the length of the joist, 4 meter. So AF will be 4 cos 45. So value of AF comes out to be 2.828 meter. Is it clear? Any doubt so far?
No, sir.
Okay. So if I have got the value of AF, I can also calculate the value of FB or BF. Again, if I take the triangle ABF, sine 45 is perpendicular, that is FB or BF divided by hypotenuse AB. Again, FB or BF will be equal to AB sine 45. AB is again 4. So 4 into sine 45, value of BF is again equal to AF, which is 2.828 meter. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now again, if I see the diagram, EF, I want to find out the value of this EF. Let us find out all the unknown values, all the unknown sides. If I want to find the value of EF, EF will be what? EF will be half of AF. Why? Because this point is the center point of your joist AB. In my diagram, it is not looking the center point, but it will be the center point, because from the center point only the weight of the joist is acting vertically downward. So value of EF will be half of AF. So AF is 2.828 meters. So EF will be 2.828 by 2, that is 1.414 meter. That means this particular value. Is it clear? Value of EF.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us find out some more unknowns in the problem. In triangle BCD, this small triangle BCD, in this triangle, angle CBD, that means this particular angle CBD will be how much? Will be 25 degree. That means this angle plus this angle. Now how much is this angle? First we have to find out. If this is 90 degree, this angle is 45 degree. Can you tell me how much is this unknown angle?
45.
45 degree. 90 plus 45, then 180 minus 90 plus 45, so this will be 45 degree. So the overall included angle B is how much? 25 plus 45, which is 70 degree. So you got this particular angle B, 70 degree. Is it clear? Any doubts? कोई doubt है?
No, sir.
Okay, let me erase all these things. Fine. Next, in this triangle, which triangle? Triangle CBD. I know that this angle B is 70 degree. So if I write tan of 70, tan of 70 will be P by B. P is perpendicular is CD divided by base is BD. And this CD is nothing but equal to EF. Why? Because this is the center point. If this is the center point, this value will exactly be equal to this value. So in place of CD, I can replace that value by EF. And EF value already I know. So from this expression, I can get the value of BD. That is, BD will be EF by tan 70. And that value comes out to be 0.5146 meter. Is it clear, the value of BD? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So see, this problem is little bit tricky because nothing is given. We are finding out each and every unknown value. So that's why it is little bit tricky problem. Fine. So we have calculated the value of BD. Now, if we check CE, what is CE? This CE. Again, if you check, since this is the central point, fine. So value of CE will be exactly equal to value of DF. CE will be equal to DF. And how you can calculate DF? It is FB or BF minus BD. Then you will get the value of DF. Fine. So value of CE equal to, that is CE equal to DF, which is equal to BF minus BD. BF already we have calculated, that is, I think, yes, 2.828 meter minus BD. BD is 0.5146 meter. So CE, which is equal to DF, is 2.3134 meter. Any doubt so far? Any doubt so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now if you see, wait. Okay. Now you can solve the problem because you have found out almost all the unknown things in this problem. Now you can see at the equilibrium point C, three forces are acting. One is tension T, another one is weight of the joist acting vertically downward, and the reaction RA exerted by the string. You can use triangle law, sorry, you can use your Lami's theorem also to solve this problem. Fine, but this time I am not using Lami's theorem. I am using what? I am using sine law. What is sine law? I have told you in the very beginning of this course that if a triangle is given to you, and in this triangle, if say triangle is A, B, C, side AB is represented by force say F1, side BC is represented by force F2, side CA if represented by force F3 when taken in order, and if angle, this angle is alpha, this angle is beta, and this angle is gamma, then according to sine law I can write F1 by sine of opposite side angle, that is gamma, F1 by sine gamma equal to F2, that is likewise, like it is similar to that of Lami's theorem. F2 divided by sine of the opposite angle side, that is sine alpha, which is equal to F3 divided by sine beta. So I will use this particular sine law to solve this problem. Let us use this law because every time we are using triangle law. So in this case, let us do, we don't use the triangle law. So we should be knowing that whether we can use some other laws to solve the problems or not. Fine. So let us use this law. So in that case, for this particular problem, I have to represent force RA, this force W, and this force T by three sides of a triangle. Let us represent. So let RA is represented by side LM of the triangle. See, this is your, assume that this side is your LM of the triangle, and T is represented by side MN of the triangle. That means let us assume that this T is nothing but side MN of the triangle, and NL is nothing but and side NL of the triangle is nothing but the force W in the problem. That means this W is nothing but side NL. So I can draw this triangle LMN. Likewise, we can substitute the included angles of the triangle. That means say this angle is alpha, included angle M is beta, angle N is gamma. If we can find out somehow what is the value of alpha, beta and gamma, then I can write L, that is W divided by sine beta equal to Ra divided by sine gamma equal to T divided by sine alpha. Then we can get the value of T and Ra. So is it clear? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes, sir.
Is it clear? So let us find out somehow what will be the value of angle alpha, beta and gamma. In that case, let us assume that wait. This is my y-axis and this is my say x-axis. Fine. Now this is the joist. AB is your joist. So let this angle. Now if you see in this triangle we have taken this particular line as my joist. If this is my joist, then this particular angle is say theta. That means this particular angle LM. LM is nothing but this side. Fine. Where RA is acting. Where this is because this is the direction of RA. So I have to take this side as LM and angle this side is making with respect to x axis is theta. So this is that angle theta. Is it clear? Now, if you consider triangle ACE, this triangle, you can write tan theta equal to CE by AE. That is, CE is your perpendicular divided by AE is your base. CE, I think we have found out that is 2.3134. So we can easily find AE also we have found out. AE is nothing but EF. AE is equal to EF. AE is equal to EF, which is 1.414. So I can find out the value of angle theta. So tan theta is CE, which is 2.3134 divided by AE. AE is equal to EF, which is 1.414. Fine. So theta is tan inverse of this value, which is 58.56 degrees. So this theta, that means this particular theta is 58.56 degree. Is it clear? The calculation part of theta?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. So if theta we have calculated, then in this sine law, if you see the triangle LMN, what will be the value of angle alpha? Alpha, because see this entire angle is 90 degree. This entire angle is 90 degree. So value of angle alpha will be 90 minus theta. Theta already we have calculated. So we got the value of alpha and that alpha is 31.43 degree. Now somehow we have to get the value of this beta and gamma. Then my problem is solved. Is it clear how I have calculated the value of angle alpha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us calculate now the angle beta. If this particular angle is theta, then this is my y-axis and this is my x-axis. If this is theta and this is my x-axis, This particular angle is also theta by geometry. होगा? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
होगा ना? This angle is theta. If this angle is theta, then I can write that theta is equal to 20 plus beta. Theta is equal to 20 plus beta. So beta is theta minus 20. Beta is theta minus 20. Theta is 58.56 minus 20. That is 38.56. I got the value of beta. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Fine. So next is we are left with finding out the value of gamma. So now can you tell me how we can calculate gamma? I have told you how we have got alpha and beta. अभी आप लोग दिमाग लगा के मेरे को बताओ कि gamma कैसे निकालेंगे. बोलो. Gamma
180 minus alpha plus beta.
180 minus, okay, since this is a triangle LMN, we know that sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So 180 degree minus alpha plus beta will be equal to gamma, right? So 180 minus alpha plus beta. Alpha is 31.43, beta is 38.56. So gamma is 180 minus of this particular value plus. So it will be 110.01 degree, which is the value of gamma. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if we have calculated all the angles, so by sine law, we can write what? We can write, wait. Yes. By sine law, we can write T divided by, T means T divided by the opposite side angle, that is sine of alpha. T by sine alpha equal to W. That is, this is W divided by opposite side angle, that is beta, equal to RA. RA means this is RA, the opposite to this side angle, that is sine of gamma, by sine of gamma. So if I take the first and the second combination, W is given to me in the problem, and T will become W sine alpha by sine beta. Alpha and beta is given to you. You will solve it and you can get the value of T. That T is coming out to be 167.31 Newton. And if you take the second and the third combination, that is W by sine beta equal to RA by sine gamma, value of RA will be W into sine gamma by sine beta. Gamma and beta given to you, W is given in the problem, RA comes out to be 301.48 Newton. And these are the two unknowns which you need to find out in this given problem. Is the problem clear? कोई डाउट किसी को इस प्रॉब्लम में?
सर कितने मार्क्स का आएगा प्रॉब्लम?
अगर ये प्रॉब्लम, अगर इस टाइप का प्रॉब्लम मैं पूछूंगा तो ये 15 मार्क्स में ही आना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा ट्रिकी प्रॉब्लम है.
ओके सर.
और ये वाला जो प्रॉब्लम है, ये थोड़ा सा सिंपल प्रॉब्लम है, तो ये 7 मार्क्स में आना चाहिए सिंगल. ठीक है. आप प्रॉब्लम देख के ही समझ जाओगे कि ये कितने मार्क्स का होगा. ठीक है. देखो आप खुद ही बोलो ना कि ये जो अभी जो मैंने सेकंड प्रॉब्लम कराया, ये टफ है कि इजी प्रॉब्लम है? ये थोड़ा सा टफ है, क्योंकि कुछ भी दिया नहीं है क्वेश्चन में. खाली क्वेश्चन में बोला गया है कि W is your 200 Newton weight of the joist and the angle which this tension is making with respect to the joist is 25 degree. Find out the value of T and this reaction RA. So in order to calculate what we have did, first we have drawn the free body diagram, then in that free body diagram we have did some construction, then with the help of this particular construction as well as FBD we found out all the unknowns, and then you are getting the value of RA and T. So that's why I am telling you, see, don't rely on my lectures and my notes. This definitely I will give in the Google Classroom all these recorded lectures, but in book lots and lots of problems are there. सी द मेन थिंग इज दैट यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस. जितना आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना आपका कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होगा, उतना एग्जाम में आपको टाइम कम लगेगा. क्योंकि अब मान के चलो कि एग्जाम में आपको एक नया प्रॉब्लम मिलेगा, आप ये अज्यूम करके चलोगे. अगर आप ये अज्यूम करके चलोगे कि मैंने जो जो क्लास में कराया है वही दूंगा, तो उस केस में क्या होगा, उस केस में ठीक है, ये सब्जेक्ट है, पास करने के लिए वेल एंड गुड, आप मार्क्स ठीक ठाक आ जाएगा, पास हो जाओगे आप. लेकिन जो मैकेनिक्स, इंजीनियरिंग मैकेनिक्स, दिस इज द बेसिक नीड ऑफ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग. आगे जाके आप नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर में पढ़ोगे स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल, फाइन, अगर मैं ही पढ़ाऊंगा तो वो इसी का ही कॉन्सेप्ट यूज होता है. इसी का ही कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करके हम स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल को सॉल्व करते हैं. इसी का कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करके हम लोग आगे जाके आप फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर में पढ़ोगे मशीन डिजाइन. In that machine design, in a machine is made up of several individual machine component. How to analyze the forces acting on those individual machine component, उसके लिए आपको मैकेनिक्स का कॉन्सेप्ट पता होना चाहिए. So that's why I am telling, don't remember these problems. अगर आप इसको याद करने जाओगे तो मुश्किल है, क्योंकि आप देख ही रहे हो कि हर एक प्रॉब्लम में अलग अलग फंडा लग रहा है, तो याद करना मुश्किल है. ये कि आप समझो, अगर आप कॉन्सेप्ट समझ जाओगे कि एफबीडी कैसे बन रहा है, मैं कैसे इंक्लूडेड एंगल्स निकाल रहा हूँ, देन इट इज वेरी इजी. बस पूरे मैकेनिक्स में वेदर यू सॉल्व द डायनेमिक्स पार्ट और यू सॉल्व द स्टैटिक्स पार्ट, मेन थिंग इज एफबीडी. अगर आपने करेक्ट फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बना लिया, देन आफ्टर कैलकुलेट ड्राइंग द फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम, इफ यू आर इन अ सक्सेसफुल पोजीशन टू फाइंड आउट द वैल्यूज ऑफ अननोन्स by the concept of geometry, trigonometry or something else, then the problem is very easy. आया समझ में?
हाँ सर.
फाइन. तो इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये जो सब्जेक्ट है ये आपको एटलीस्ट, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये कल एग्जाम है तो आज मैं पढ़ लिया तो हो गया, नहीं, इसको आपको रोज एटलीस्ट आधा से 1 घंटा देना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इसमें कॉन्सेप्ट्स है और कुछ नहीं है, इसमें कॉन्सेप्ट है. तो कॉन्सेप्ट आपको पता होना चाहिए, कॉन्सेप्ट याद रहेगा तो कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आप सॉल्व कर सकते हो, कितना भी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रॉब्लम क्यों ना हो. इसीलिए मैं क्लास में इजी प्रॉब्लम नहीं करा रहा हूँ. आपने देखा होगा मैंने एक भी डायरेक्ट प्रॉब्लम नहीं कराया कि फॉर्मूले में पुट किया आंसर आ गया, वो तो आप खुद भी कर सकते हो. इफ यू सी द बुक you can easily solve those direct problems that I will put everything in formula, I will get the values. So उस टाइप के प्रॉब्लम कराने का नीड क्या है, कोई नीड ही नहीं है. उससे अच्छा we will solve some typical problems जिसमें कि कॉन्सेप्ट लगता है. तो लेकिन वो प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व करना है, दो इजी प्रॉब्लम्स, फॉर्मूला बेस्ड प्रॉब्लम्स. हो सकता है वो 2 मार्क्स में आ जाए, 5 मार्क्स में आ जाए, फाइन, बट इन 7 मार्क्स एंड 15 मार्क्स यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट सम conceptual kind of problems. Okay.
Okay sir.
Hello. Fine. Okay then, it is around 11:13 a.m. I will not take much time. You are having your class from 11:30 a.m. But before leaving, I am just telling you one small concept. That means the last topic of this module, which we will be covering on Wednesday when those electrical people will be there. That is the moment part. That is the moment. Now, what is moment? Okay, let me give you an example. Wait. Let me. Can you see? Can you see me? See my screen?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is moment? See, this is a bottle. Fine. Now, if I fix this bottle at this end, at the cap end, if I fix this bottle at the cap end, fine. So now this bottle cannot move because I have fixed it. My hand is my wall. Assume that my hand is my wall and it is fixed. Bottle cannot move. Fine. So if I take a force in such a way that this force is acting along y-axis but in negative direction or in positive direction, direction can be anything. So if you apply this force, what will happen? It will try to bend this bottle. If you apply a force like this, this force will try to bend this bottle about this fixed point A. How it is bending? It is making the bottle bend by bending moment, by moment. This force F into the perpendicular distance from the point of application will create a moment in the body, and this moment can bend the body, can twist the body. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप बाइक चलाते हो, तो जब बाइक चलाते हो आप एक्सेलरेटर बढ़ाते हो, आप एक्सेलरेटर को कम करते हो, तो आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप अपने हाथ को मोड़ रहे हो, फाइन, कभी ज्यादा मोड़ते हो कभी कम मोड़ते हो, दैट इज ट्विस्ट, दैट वी विल स्टडी इन द लास्ट मॉड्यूल, और वो होता है टॉर्क के वजह से. If you apply, if in the same body, if you apply a torque, say clockwise torque in this direction and anti-clockwise torque in this direction, so somewhere in the middle portion of the body twist will happen. Due to that twist, that body will break. That is a torque, which is also a type of moment, because unit of torque and moment is same. Force into perpendicular distance. Formula for torque is also force into perpendicular distance, but torque is producing a twist in the object, whereas a simple moment means force into perpendicular distance from the point of application is trying to bend the object from the cross section. आया समझ में क्या है moment, क्या है torque? Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So by a simple diagram, let me show you. By a simple diagram, let me show you the difference between torque and moment. Okay. Fine. So say this is a body which is fixed at the end. This is say wall. Fine. And this is your body. So if you apply a force at the end point of the body or at any other point except at this cross section, fine, and if you take this perpendicular distance, that means this distance, say the distance is x, perpendicular distance from the point of application of force. This is the point of application of force, but you are interested what is happening in this body along this cross section xx. So this will be the perpendicular distance, because angle between this distance and this force is 90 degree. Then what will happen? The body will bend like this. Body will bend like this. So this force F into this perpendicular distance x is known as moment, and this moment is producing what? It is making the body to bend, which is known as bending moment, and this we will be studying in this module. There is one more moment called torsional moment that we will study in the last module. That is what? That is, say if you are having this body, fine, that moment we will call it by torque. That is, that moment is nothing but a torque which create a twist in the body. Fine. Torque. Torque is also force into perpendicular distance. Force into perpendicular distance. But the torque produces a twist in the body, and this moment makes the body to bend. So if you apply a torque, say clockwise in this direction, fine, and opposite side in this direction, and then what will happen? The body is twisting, means a twist is generated in the body. This is the twist is generated in the body. Say you want to see what is the twist in this body, then at this end you apply a clockwise torque, and at this end you apply a anti-clockwise torque. So what will happen? The body will fail due to twist. For example, the best example is when you are accelerating up and down your bike. That is an example of twist. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Fine. So these things we will study in the Wednesday's class. Fine. Okay. So with this, I end the today's lecture over here. We will again meet in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you. You can leave the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.